Welcome back, Cars05 second episode. Now listen, whether you believe in a guy named Jesus or not, the fact of the matter stands. You know he turned water to wine. You know he walked on water. You know he turned a couple loaves of bread and some fish into thousands. You know he did all that. Whether you believe him or not, you know. And you know why? It's because everything he did grabbed your attention. And when he grabbed your attention, he made you a believer. The Range Rover 2019 Sport does the exact same thing. Grabs your attention, then makes you a believer. Let me show you. Range Rover came through with the new design of the grille, which gives you that performance feel and that new elegance and confidence style that draws your attention into. Now, here we have full LED lights. And actually the most interesting thing about these lights is that they come in small panels right there. And what these lights do is that they actually have a system whereby when you are driving, they take in and they censor in other light sounds in the area, so it switches off some panels and keeps some panels on, so that when oncoming traffic is driving and you've got your lights on, it's not blinding the other drivers, but it actually switches off the panels in regards to where it sees the sound light. And so it allows you to have great vision. So again, it's those small little things that end up making you a believer. But again, let's move on to the new shape of the light, and we come down to the side. They have these beautiful vents here. Now these vents, seeing as it's a sport car, we know that it's helpful for the performance of the vehicle itself. Let me show you. The body of the car is strictly aluminium to keep the weight light, so it's extremely good on the ground and it flows nicely. And that again comes into touch with the performance that we're talking about earlier. It being a sports vehicle, we come back, it is the same panel for the LED lights on the Range Rover, and this one actually switches off into 4 different panels and has small different LED lights in there. So it's an incredible vehicle to come with. Now on the back we have the beautiful side here. We open it up in here, and this is great. And what we like here is that they have the ridge down here, so when you pull out your suitcase, it doesn't really affect the suitcase much. So it's got a nice ridge out here, so when you carry your stuff out, you're not bumping everything onto the end of the board here. And again, it still maintains a sporty feel. Now again, it's not too far from the ground, so it means when you try to put your luggage up, you'll be good, you'll be safe, and you don't have to lift it up to a high altitude, as we can say. The beautiful thing as well about this car is if you want to raise the suspension, you can, and the car begins to rise, as you can see. I think it's getting excited to see me. This is beautiful because it helps you if you're parked somewhere and there's a beach, there's a beautiful view or whatnot. You can really have a wonderful time having a view as you elevate yourself out. Okay, let's get deeper. Let's look at more detail. Let's go on the inside. Almost clapped my head there. Okay, so what I like about the steering wheel is it's wonderful leather. It's got the silver finishing in the middle here, which is good for the sporty feel and for handling as well. I love the touch sensitive here. This is a flash touch, I can see. So I know it won't show anything right now, but with the minute the car goes on, like you see, the instructions come on. So that's beautiful. I mean, who would have ever imagined that you're going to have this type of setup in a vehicle one day? So it's got this wonderful screen on the LED screen on the front here. It's got one on the side. The entire dash is screen as well. So I love it, and I love how they had these little touches of aluminium on the dials here, which is amazing, but they still kept the touch functioning, so you have your entire car system at the palm of your hands, literally. So yeah, what I like about this vehicle as well is it's got the wonderful storage at the top here, some storage at the bottom here. See, it's a touch storage. Open that, it comes out. That's wonderful. Ooh, okay, it's failing to close that there. And then aside from that storage, we have some cup holders that are here. These two cup holders, and they're very deep, so you make sure that you won't spill your coffee. Just below the cup holders itself, it's got a second unit of storage under the cup holder, so you can keep, you know, or pretty much anything in there, but I guess your goodies. And you can close that and the cup holder comes back, and you can keep that clean as well. It's got the central unit over here, which is more space, and a refrigerator, which is amazing. You can switch that on or switch that off, so it keeps about 4 bottles of water, and it's quite deep as well, so that's wonderful. You can always keep a beverage in there. I love how it's got the HDMIs in there, it's got the USB ports there and micro SIM, so at the same time you could have your navigation system functioning from those bots. It also has a wonderful power outlet. So about the storage, that's pretty much it. But what I like about this vehicle is that most of the finishings are expensive, and they justify why the car is as exquisite as it is, and it draws your attention. I mean, just look at the rear view mirror here. It's frameless. I mean, those little touches of elegance, they make the attention worth it. So again, as we've gone into it, this car is beautiful. It has the wonderful detail. I mean, look. It has a full screen panoramic sunroof on it, and the most intricate thing about it, those things we were talking about, those subtle details that draw attention, is that you can actually open this sunroof with the gesture of your hand. So if you swipe it back like that, that's all. There we go. We finally got it. So it's with the hand gesture whereby the sunroof opens, and you can close it as well with the similar hand gesture. I mean, who would have ever thought that that kind of technology would be in vehicles? This is exactly what makes, you know, these cars and the attention that it draws to you so right. We had to click the button. Because imagine you get to the shop, so you have an important meeting that you need to go to, and you're there waving your hand like this, trying to close your panoramic. I think everyone inside that's about to have a meeting with you might think you're a little bit crazy. Now, when you get into the back, what I like about it is, as much as it's a square car, it's got a lot of space for you. You don't have to clap your head at the top here. There's a lot of room at the top, up here. I have a lot of room on the sides as well, so I'm free to sit. I don't have a lot of room in the front here, unless the driver, of course, pushes their seat in the front. But again, it's not much leg room here. But I love how the surface is flat on the entire back of the car. So I guess if you have 3 people sitting here, you don't have one guy that has to have his legs wide open. So I think that's beautiful as well. My only issue with it is that the elevation of the car itself puts your knees up high, so you're kind of sitting in a not necessarily a comfortable position, but again, you know, this is all part of the Range Rover Sport. Now, if you come to the back and you flip this down, you have a wonderful cup holder as well. It's quite big, it's spacious, so you can sit very, very comfortably. I love this. This is beautiful. I love how they have this section as well. I tried to figure out what this section might be for, but I thought maybe someone might decide to be eating some Doritos or some chips, and they want to have their dip, and they can put it in here. But not really. I think this is a wonderful contraption whereby you can store some stuff. Maybe if you want to go to sleep, you take your watches off, you close them up here, and you ensure that they go all the way back there. And again, you have this touch navigator that allows you to see what is going on and what you're doing. So again, that's how it works. Down here we've got some power outlets. So we've got 5 kV power outlets, and we've got the main cigarette lighter here, so you can generally have your devices charged up. Again, I love this cockpit style pouch here. I like it. It's not very deep, but I do like the style of it. It makes you feel like you're in the cockpit. So again, we're talking about those little subtle details, and as you pay attention to those, you start becoming a believer of Range Rover Sport.
2019 Range Rover Sport.
Sport.
Yep. Looking good. Metallic red. 3-liter diesel.
Yeah.
225 kilowatts.
Okay.
And a punch of torque at 700 Newton meters.
Yep.
Don't mind me, I'm a consumer. He's the expert.
No. He's obviously the expert, guys. Come on. Newton meters. Let's go.
So we're just doing a consumer review. Things that pop out for me. Driving this car for the first time. We're just going around and trying to essentially just ask the question, if you are going to be buying this car, what are the things that you would look out for as a consumer, right?
True.
You had some time with the car. What was your review like?
I enjoyed it. I like the fact that they were very meticulous to their detail. They kind of grab your attention and always make you a believer. There's actually, earlier we were talking about the air conditioning and how it was actually messing with the sound.
Yeah,
but they have an interesting system that they put in this, and that the system for the AC itself, it actually traps the moisture in the cabin and it adds electrons to it before it feeds it back out into the cabin. And that pacifies pathogens, bacteria, and anything that may be in the air. So it keeps the cabin very cool and smells good. So if anyone catches corona and you have this car, you have a problem.
So this is a 3-liter. I noticed that it's quiet, right? I had the privilege of having a 530D BMW a few years ago.
Okay.
And the sound in here is trapped nicely. I love the steering. This is, of course, the 2019 is a new one with all touch.
Yeah.
Right? I love the whole digital dash, 2 touch screens, very ergonomic. But one thing I can't get out of my head, you need to help me with this.
Yeah.
Why do they have a gear lever and they don't have the pop-out gear lever and they have the stick?
I feel that.
Because the Disco, which is cheaper, has the pop-up stick.
True.
Right? And then they put a gear lever on this stick on this one. I think in terms of ergonomics, I would have preferred the pop-up stick because it then goes down and hides.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
You know,
I can relate to that.
Seating position is great. I love where they've got the window buttons. It's easy to reach, not too far. Keeps it comfortable, and you can see the road.
True.
Right, a lot of the road because the sitting position is really high. True. This is definitely for a consumer. I mean, driving for the first time. I think this car, and I thought it was going to be very heavy for a V6 because it looks like a big body.
It does. It does.
And I was thinking maybe you'd be looking at the V8 diesel, the SD V8. But first impression, yeah, it's good. It's good enough talk. Picks up. Definitely picks up.
Yeah.
How's the seating comfort on your side?
I like it. I've got a lot of leg room. Oh, and that sound, it won't stop.
Yeah, it won't stop.
Which is good as well because
safety first, right?
Yeah. Look, on this side, you know, I like it. It's got nice room. I would imagine there's a lot more room on the driver's seat, but it's got good space. I'm not too close to the ceiling. Yeah, I've got a lot of space on my side, so I do like it. The seats really sit me in, and I sink right into the chair. I like it. It's beautiful.
My other gripe as a consumer, this plasticky on the bottom.
I hear that.
Doesn't really feel premium.
I feel that.
But in terms of everything else, ladies and gentlemen, and it also has a party trick. Yep. Sunroof opening with gesture control.
Absolutely.
That's really going to impress the in-laws when they're in the car. But like I said, very airy, especially when you open the sunroof. So it's panoramic. It feels very airy when you open the sunroof. As a long distance drive car, I think it would be good. Boss is nice.
True.
The opening of the doors, I feel the handles are lower though. This is my issue. Because when they're that low, and you also need to put a bit of force to open the door, that's something that I think that they should improve on the next model.
Okay.
All right. But definitely
I like
everything else. Oh, by the way, long distance drive, we have a fridge. Okay. Fridge will definitely have nice, you put your beers in there and your water, and for all of you soft drink lovers, keeps it nice and cool.
Hey, I like soft drinks.
Yeah, oh, you like soft. Yeah. So as a first time consumer, like we said, we just off the cuff got the car talking about things that hit us the first time.
True.
I know you detailed a lot about it.
Yeah.
In the video. I'm just coming in as the layman who's just driving it for the first time.
Again, I think maybe it's just a situation on the passenger side. I wouldn't know what it's like on the driver's side, but I feel the space between the pocket in the door and the seat is a bit tight to try and put
Also
things
true.
in.
Yeah, so it's tight.
You know?
Like you won't. I was actually trying to push, thinking that it had that opening mechanism, and so you won't be able to put like bottles of water. You can put your purse and wallets, and that's easy. It's deep enough. But for bottles, you won't.
No.
So that's something that they also need to look at. So you only have like pretty much 2 cup holders.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But look, what can I say? Value for money. These are sitting at what? 120, about 150k.
Yeah.
Would you say it's value for money?
I definitely think so.
You think so?
I mean, the intricacies of the car itself, they justify that value.
Okay.
I think definitely it's worth it.
Yeah. It's a good car. It's a good car.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know how the petrol would drive. This
True.
for a long distance drive. I mean, it's giving us about 10.3 liters per 100 k's. Right. I'm assuming the tank is about 90 liters.
Yeah.
So we could easily probably do Victoria Falls maybe on a tank driving softly. Chances are very unlikely. You know.
True.
Yeah. So that's sport. That's drive and sport. It firms up, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I love about the facelift,
Yeah.
the LED pulsating lights.
Yes.
Beautiful feature.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Those are very, very nice. They stand out. It hits you the first time you see it.
True.
And at night,
True.
even better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a very nice touch that they put on the car.
And what's beautiful about it is the way they complemented the lights to the technology that it uses.
It uses.
You know how when you click the blinders, you find that if you're moving at speeds above 120 kilometers per hour, it starts to shift the beam further to about 500 meters ahead of you to try and keep you safe.
Okay.
So that's incredible.
Yeah.
Those small technologies within the beautiful feel of the LEDs.
It's a head turner.
It's amazing.
Like right now, where we were driving, people are just turning
It's
heads.
that thing we're talking about, the attention.
The
issue.
attention that it gives.
It does grab your attention.
But one other thing, I feel the suspension is a bit too stiff.
Okay.
And I guess it's a sport.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not as comfortable as I thought it would be.
True.
I think you'd get that from the Vogue. I need to take the next turn.
Okay.
I think you'd get that from the Vogue. But I can feel it. It's very stiff, especially over bumps.
True.
We're driving on, for people from developed worlds, we call them B roads, where the tar is okay, but it's got undulating, wobbling.
True.
Yeah. So it's not as smooth. So you feel it. That these B roads, the car is very choppy.
True.
Yeah. But I mean, look, for everyday driving, would you take this as an everyday car?
Probably not.
No, yeah, I think so.
Especially with the nature of our roads, but probably not. I think it would be one out, release when I have to go to a special occasion.
If you're going to buy this car, I'd suggest you get the 18s for better comfort and for our roads, so that you don't struggle with potholes. The owner was talking about how his previous rims that were 19s or 20s.
Okay.
They were always having to change tires every other 2 weeks because they would hit a pothole. That's expensive, and of course, the thicker it is, the more comfortable it becomes.
Very true.
So, yeah, I think for consumer review, that's pretty much what I have in my opinion. It's definitely a good car, value for money.
True.
Yeah.